Hi everyone, it is Jo, and this video is about some of those buzzwords that we're hearing thrown around. Frequencies, resonance, vibrations, Hertz. What does it all mean, and is it grounded in science? Well, the answer to that is 100% it is. It is not some hippie construct, it is science. So let me take you through a few of these concepts and explain a bit more. Vibrations, well, what does that mean? Well, vibrations are just the movements of atoms or particles that are caused by at and atoms comprise the basis of all living things. Everything is made from atoms. At the core of a living human being, we are atoms of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. And this is why everything is, we say everything is energy because everything at the core is comprised of atoms. So yes, we are all just atoms. Because all things are comprised of atoms, all things will then, by default, have an energy field of their own. They'll have their own vibrational frequency. Humans, objects, even the Earth itself has a frequency which we then measure in Hertz. So Hertz, Hertz units simply mean the rate at which those vibrations occur per second. So if we are talking about 10 Hertz, then the current goes in the forward direction, then reverse in back direction 10 times per second. So that's what the Hertz is. It's the way we measure those vibrations, that energy. And when we talk about frequencies, we mean the rate at which something occurs or repeats over time. So this is the cycles per second, which is our Hertz. So the frequencies are the rate at which it repeats over time. So vibration is the physical phenomenon involving the matter, the particles, and the atoms. Frequency is the cycle or pattern of these vibrations repeating at regular intervals. And Hertz is the unit of measurement that we use to describe the cycles per second, how many cycles per second. Then we've got this word resonance. So in physics, it's resonance is the tendency of a system to vibrate with increasing amplitude. Let me make that a little bit more clear. So a living being or an object tends to vibrate at a specific rate. This is what we call the natural resonant frequency. So all different atoms, all different cells, all different particles vibrate at different rates, and that is their natural resonant frequency. So a particle will vibrate strongly when it is subjected to vibrations at regular impulses and at a frequency equal or close to its natural frequency. So this is where I've spoken before about kidney cells have a particular vibration. So if we can add a vibration similar, equal, or slightly higher than the resonant vibration of that cell, then that cell's going to increase its amplitude, increase its vibration to meet that state. I have a good little example, little demo that I can do for you. Now, this is not going to be complete because I've only got one tuning fork, but this tuning fork is a 512 frequency tuning fork. Now, what I would love to be able to do is have another tuning fork, but I'll talk through what will happen. But the principle of resonance in physics states that when two frequencies are brought together, the lower frequency will always rise to meet the higher frequency. This is the principle of resonance, a scientific principle. So if I had another tuning fork, this is, and you can Google this if you don't believe me, but this is the resonance of 512 Hertz. I don't know if you can hear that. Now, if I had another tuning fork next to it, what would happen is without hitting the other tuning fork, it would start to vibrate. If it's in close proximity, it will start to vibrate to meet the vibrations of this tuning fork. That's pretty incredible. So I use these tuning forks in my private practice. I hit the resonant frequency, the 512, and I place it close to the ear of my patient with the intention of this tuning fork impacting their natural frequency, their resonant state, and increasing their vibrations. There's ways you can do this in nature too. And actually I might come back and talk to you about that, because the earth itself vibrates. It has a frequency, it has a natural resonance. We as humans have a natural resonance. In fact, the natural resonant frequency of a human is about, well, they say anywhere between 5 and 10 hertz, because our frequency does change. When we sleep and we're in a delta state, our brain waves slow, our frequency decreases. When we're in a state of arousal, we might be in a beta state, or a state of just calm relaxation, an alpha state. So each of those states has a different frequency. So to sort of average that out, we say between 5 and 10 hertz. The earth itself has a resonant frequency of about 7.83 hertz. Now this is really interesting, because 7.83 hertz is the human brain's average alpha frequency. So alpha being the state of calm relaxation, it is the same. So we are matching, or attempting to match, the average frequency of the earth. Now there's peaks in that frequency in the earth's vibrational field that are called the Schumann resonance. So these are a set of peaks in the extremely low frequency ELF portion of the earth's magnetic field. But isn't it incredible that the earth's natural frequency, and all living beings, we are all connected through these vibrational states. And that's why we feel calmer when we are out in nature, away from the concrete, taking off our shoes. Because if you think about your shoes, they have rubber soles. Rubber is an insulator. It stops us from connecting with the earth. But yeah, get away from the traffic, get away from the noise and the chaos and the fluoro lights, and just go out into nature. And what happens? Just like my tuning fork, is if your frequencies are low because of the stress, because of work, because of relationships, because of all the toxins and pollutants, then you will start to naturally resonate with the higher frequency of the earth. And this is why you feel better when you are outdoors. Take your shoes off. We tend to tell our kids, put your shoes on, get your shoes off, as long as it's safe. Connect with the earth. Humans are made of trillions of cells, which are made of atoms, which are made of particles, and those particles are just vibrating energy. So we can raise our resonant frequency. There's things we can do. Yes, we can use Healy. That is where Healy comes into that, by changing the amplitude, by adding these little micro frequencies to our body to stimulate the cells and to increase our frequency in our vibrational state. But you can also do a few other things, practical things, which I as a psychologist also try to implement with my patients. So they are things like, and I'm going to refer up here to my notes, become conscious of your thoughts, because everything you think, say or feel becomes your reality. Your thoughts are vibrations. Your thoughts are brain cells vibrating. They produce a frequency too. And what you think becomes your words. Your words become your behavior, and what you do is your reality. So change the way that you think and increase your frequency. Find something beautiful and appreciate it. Take time out. Connect with the earth, like I was just saying. Be conscious of the foods you eat. Foods also have vibrations, and with the toxins and the pesticides and the additives and the preservatives and the sugars, which are toxins in our brain cells. All these things bring our natural state down. So be very conscious of the food you eat. Eat organic, well-sourced foods. The soils these days, they're depleted of nutrients. So, source out your food, get good quality food. Drink water, of course. Water is nature's elixir. The best thing you can do is stay hydrated. Even with your Healy, a lot of people are saying, why is that black circle coming up? Could be because your skin is so dry, you're dehydrated. And if you're doing micro frequency therapies, you should be having a good, big glass of water before you engage in that, because you are introducing electrofrequency into your body. And the cell potentials are really important in that. So you need to be drinking water before and after any kind of intervention. Meditation changes us out of that alpha state into higher states. So it increases our natural frequencies. Being grateful. I do experiments with patients. I hook them up to all sorts of little gadgets, and I get them to focus on a negative thought, and I show them what happens to their body. Their heart rate changes, their skin temperature changes, their muscle contraction changes, their pupil dilation changes. All these states in their body start to change just by focusing on a negative thought. Then I give them a moment and we pause and we breathe through it, because breath is like the switch between the subconscious and the conscious mind. And then I get them to focus on thoughts of gratitude. Their blood pressure comes down, their heart rate decreases, their muscle tension relaxes, their pupils start to relax. Pretty phenomenal. And this is without me even knowing what they're thinking, just having that thought, because a thought in itself is a frequency, a thought is a vibration. Practice acts of kindness. So taking that thought to the next level and acting on it. So a thought in and of itself is just a thought, but now we're turning that thought into an action, one of positivity, kindness, loving kindness to each other. And that causes not only us to increase our vibration, but like the tuning fork, the other person's vibration will rise to meet your own. And get your blood pumping. This is simply exercise, getting the oxygen through your body and getting your cells working well. A healthy cell is a healthy body.